Hello and welcome to Mr. Tompkins Edtech. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at the new meeting recording experience in Microsoft Teams. I'll be explaining how this new experience works, what now happens with the videos that are captured in this way, and how you can manage and share these videos between different groups. This change is coming to all tenancies by default later this year, but at the end of this video I'll show you how you can enable this new experience right away for your school. So if your current meeting recordings are broken and just sit there for 20 days and then get deleted, and you want me to show you how to enable this new and improved meeting recording experience for your school that students can actually view, then keep watching. If you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up below. I'm posting regularly on the latest EdTech tips and tricks to help you improve your remote teaching and learning. My channel has lots of practical videos made by a real teacher who's actually using this stuff every day. So please check it out and consider subscribing and hitting the bell so you'll be notified by other future videos. Meeting recording has become a fairly essential element to many schools' remote learning strategy, as recording the session provides safeguards for students and teachers and enables students with technical difficulties or sharing devices with siblings to catch up on any session that they miss going out live. Previously, videos captured from Microsoft Teams meetings were being automatically pushed to Microsoft Stream, and this is still currently working for some schools who are paying for A3 licenses for Office 365. But if your school is using the free A1 license, as many schools are, then this feature likely broke for you in September, and now videos kind of just hang around in limbo in Teams meeting posts for 20 days and then they're automatically deleted. This is pretty rubbish, as you have to download the whole file before you can play it, and it simply doesn't work for all mobile devices and iPads. Also, there is no way to remove this video before the 20 days are up, so if something happened in the live session that needed to be redacted, the only option you have is to delete the whole team group and start over, which is a bit of a nuclear option. But now there is a new experience available, which is currently opt-in, but will become the default method of storing recorded videos for everyone later this year. Instead of pushing these videos to Stream, or the weird broken thing it's doing for most schools right now, instead the videos are saved to SharePoint. Now, unless you're a bit of an EdTech geek like me, you probably don't know much about SharePoint. But Teams is actually built right on top of SharePoint, and SharePoint is providing the behind-the-scenes muscle that makes Teams work. When you create a new class in Teams, you're actually creating a SharePoint site, and this is where all the files and messages and assignments actually live. Teams is just a pretty wrapper wrapped around this SharePoint site that makes it more user-friendly and easier to use. So when I say video recordings are now saved to SharePoint, they are not being hived off to some strange exotic new place. They're actually going to be stored right alongside everything else from your class, inside the same SharePoint site. So really, this is the best place for them to be. Now, this decision to opt into this new experience needs to be actioned by your technicians. It's not something you can turn on yourself as a teacher. I'll explain how your technicians can do this at the end of this video. So you might want to share this video with your leadership team and technical staff if you would like to see this new experience turned on straight away. From a teaching perspective, nothing at all is going to change in your lessons. You just start your meeting in the exact same way that you normally do. Just as a top tip, when you do start your meeting, you can actually give the meeting a name by tapping in here. When you name a meeting, that's going to be added to both the posts in Teams and also to the file name of the video. So it's a really good idea to do this. It will make finding particular lessons and videos much easier further down the line. Once you start your lesson, just hit the 3 epsilons and start recording, just as you do now. And at the end of the lesson, you can stop recording or you can simply end meeting and kick everyone out and stop the recording in one swift ninja move. From this point, you'll notice the first difference. You'll actually get a nice thumbnail now added to the end of your meeting post rather than just a grey box. And you won't get that dreaded download in 20 days message. Clicking on the link will immediately open a new window in your browser and start streaming the video straight away. Although you might have to log in first depending on whether you're already authenticated in your browser. Now this happily works on phones and iPads as well as PCs, so now everyone will be able to view these. You'll get a title screen for a couple of seconds at the start of your video, and this should contain the meeting name you typed in earlier, so students will know what they're watching. As soon as you record your first video, a new folder is going to appear in your Files section called Recordings. This is where all your video files are going to be stored. The naming structure is meeting name, date, time code, meeting recording.mp4. So over time, this is going to build up into a library of all your lessons, and you can play them all directly from this folder just by finding the one you want and opening it. You can also move or copy them to anywhere else, just like any other file you have in Teams. So you could download it if you want or copy it to another team. If you want to do that, tap these three dots here, pick copy, and then you can navigate up to see all of your teams, and then back down into their recordings folder and copy it over there. The videos are all in MP4 format, which is widely supported, so it should be easy to use in any video editing software if you wanted to edit them down or take sections out to use as a recorded lesson for another class. If you want to share these videos more widely, you can tap Open in SharePoint. This pulls back the curtain and reveals where your files actually live in its native SharePoint site. If you press on the three epsilons here now, you'll get new options that weren't available in Teams, including the Share button, where you can create a shareable link similar to how you do this in OneDrive. You can now use this to share the video with people outside your class, maybe with other teachers in your department, or even externally, perhaps to parents or a teacher in another school. You can also still upload these videos to Stream if you want. Simply download them first and then re-upload them to Stream. All in all, I think this is a neat solution and much easier than messing around with permissions in Microsoft Stream. Personally, I do much prefer this new experience, and I think teachers and students will find it easier to work with. If you like what you see and you want this experience turned on straight away, you can. It's already available, and your school or college can already make this active for all the teachers. If your Save to Stream experience is already broken, you've really got nothing to lose, and I'd recommend doing it straight away. If you're still managing to use the Save to Stream feature, then do bear in mind that this is going away soon, so consider when it's best for your organisation to make this switch. The rest of this video is going to show you how to make this change, so hang around if you're curious, or pass this video on to whoever's likely to be doing this for your organisation. To make this change, you're going to need someone with a global admin account to action it. It's not for the faint-hearted, as it requires you using PowerShell rather than a pretty admin page. So get ready to roll your sleeves up and get down with the command prompt. But don't stress, I'll be showing you all the commands you need, and I'll also reference the documents I'm using from Microsoft where I got this information from. So if you'd rather follow those to copy-paste the commands into PowerShell, then you can do that instead. First up, we need to download and install the Skype for Business online PowerShell module. Just follow the link in the document reference 1 below. Once you've installed it, you'll need to restart your computer. Next, launch PowerShell. You'll need to run it with administrator rights turned on. Check if your computer allows you to run PowerShell scripts first by typing in get execution policy. Okay, note it's got a little dash in the middle, no space in between execution and policy. If it says restricted, you need to change this by typing in set-execution policy space unrestricted. This is explained in document reference 2 linked below. You can always set this back to restricted once you're done. Now you have PowerShell running and unrestricted, you'll need to import the Skype Online connector and sign in as a Teams admin. To do this, paste this text block into PowerShell and then enter your global admin username and password as prompted. You should now be logged into your Teams backend and can make direct changes to all your various Teams policies using commands. First up, let's view the current settings for your global meetings policy by typing get CS Teams meeting policy identity global. This will list all the different policies you have in place. Reading down this list, you should come across one called record in storage mode. This will most likely be set to stream currently, and this is what we need to change. Instead, we are going to set it to OneDrive for Business. Now to do that, you just type in set CS Teams meeting policy, identity global, record in storage mode, OneDrive for business. Now actually in our school we have set up different policies for students and staff, and we have assigned all our staff a new policy called TCOLC staff meeting. So this is going to override the global policy. So I'm going to replace global in this command line with the name of our actual assigned policy, and as it has spaces in the name, I'm going to need to wrap it in speech marks, so the new command looks like this. Set CS Teams meeting policy, identity TCOLC staff meeting, record in storage mode, OneDrive for business. And that's it. You might want to double check it's been applied correctly by tapping in another get command. So get CS Teams meeting policy, identity TCOLC staff meeting for us. And you should see that the record in storage mode has now changed from stream to OneDrive for business. Don't forget to set your execution policy back to restricted if you want to do that, or just type exit to finish up and close PowerShell. Changes to Teams policies can take a while to propagate, so don't expect things to change straight away. But if you've entered the commands correctly, it should update within a few hours. The latest information I have on this says that the forced migration will begin from the 7th of July 2021, but personally I prefer the new Save to SharePoint experience. To me it makes much more sense to keep all your team resources in one place, and videos stored this way are much easier to edit and share. So pick a date to move over and do it sooner rather than later. The longer you leave it, the more content you're going to end up having in two places. So we've taken a look at the new meeting recording experience, we've seen where the files are now stored and how we can copy and share these to other groups or with other people. We've also seen how this new experience can be activated straight away. And so for all you schools with A1 licenses with your broken recordings slowly counting down the days until their sad, untimely demise, you've really got nothing to lose and you should be doing this straight away. If you're lucky enough to still have access to the recording to stream option, be aware that this is still being retired soon for everyone, and eventually you will have to make the switch to recording to SharePoint. Check out this playlist for more videos on using Teams for remote learning. If you're interested in finding out more about SharePoint, take a look at this one over here, or maybe take a look at this other great EdTech video down here. See you on the next video.